Hey guys, and welcome to the second part of the Adobe Premiere Pro CS3 training. If you haven't seen the first part, the link's in the description, so I recommend you watch that first. Alright, and we're going to learn a few other basic things like making your footage slow and fast motion, creating titles, fading, and maybe even video effects. Alright, let's get started. There's a few ways of doing fading. You can either do it manually through keyframing the opacity, or you can use a video transition. First, I'll just show you what all this stuff up here is. If you open the motion tab, it shows you the position, scale, rotation, anchor point, and anti-flicker. Now, this is similar to Adobe After Effects, really easy to use. You can also just click in the preview window and drag your footage around just from there. And you can rotate it from just dragging this here. And scale. You can also keyframe all these elements. So, for an example, we'll just keyframe the scale. So you click on the stopwatch here. Then you can either move on the bottom timeline or the mini one up here. Let's move up a bit and we'll scale it up. Also, if you hold shift, it will scale it or whatever you want to do faster. So let's preview that now. You'll see that it slowly does a zoom. So these the keyframes here, you can move them closer together. Let's just zoom in. You can move these closer together or further apart. The closer, the faster, the further apart it'll be a lot longer. You can toggle through the keyframes using the arrows, and you can also create new keyframes by changing the number. There's also the opacity, which you can keyframe as well. And another way of changing the opacity for a clip is if you go down to the bottom where the timeline is, you'll see a yellow line across the footage. If you drag that down, it'll fade it, or it'll make it, a lower opacity. If you drag it higher, it'll make it, full opacity. And you can also keyframe from here. So, for example, we'll zoom in here. We'll go to opacity and keyframe it. Then we'll move up a bit, or maybe not. We'll use the timeline on the bottom, and we'll set another keyframe here by selecting the keyframe add or remove keyframe button here. And as you can see, the keyframe will show up here on the timeline on the footage where the yellow line is. So you can drag that and bring it down if you want, or you can see the first one we did, you can bring that down. So now that will fade it in. So that's how you manually fade in. That's good if you want to, maybe in the middle of a clip you want it to fade out and fade back in or something. You've also got time remapping, but I'll show you another way of using this. And also volume, which you can keyframe as well. And that's exactly the same with the yellow line. You can turn it down by just dragging the yellow line. You can mute it by dragging it down to the bottom. Alright, now I've undid everything we just did then. You can also go to the video transitions, and under dissolve, you'll find one called dip to black. Now you just drag that onto the end or the beginning of the footage, and that will, add it there. Let's say we have two clips. Now, there's two clips here. What you do is you just drag it in between the two clips, and it will show up there. Now, let's zoom in. You see? Now, if you select the transition, which is the purple square here, you can, look through some options here. Let's make it a bit bigger. You can make it last longer by dragging these ends. You can change the start and the end point, and you can just customize it however you need it. But I usually just, make it longer. That's the only thing I usually use out of that. There we go, that's pretty easy to do. You can look at all the video transitions. We've got the cube spin, so it's pretty cool. And there's a bunch of other ones, slide, swipe, page wheel, iris, just the basic ones, but you can look at all them yourself. Video effects is much the same. You can just, let's go to adjust, and we'll go levels. Now this is similar to Adobe After Effects. You can just change the black and the white levels to help you color correct. Now you can also buy other effects, or you might be able to get free ones. I'm not sure if they have any free ones. You can install them as well. I might put a tutorial on that a bit later. Let's just look at one effect. By the way, you've got keying, which is chroma keying, green screening, and blue screening, just to let you know. Let's go to perspective, and we'll add a drop shadow to the footage. So now if we make it smaller, we've got to change the color of the drop shadow first. Let's make it white, and we'll make it red. And you can see it there. We'll set the opacity on maybe 80. just play around with that. Now it's not the best of colours, but I'm only showing you a demonstration here. So that's how you add the effects. Just drag and drop. You can keyframe pretty much all the elements. You can delete the effects by selecting the effect and hitting delete. And that's pretty much on the video effects. Audio transitions, the same as video transitions. Just drag it in and it'll fade out the audio and fade it back in or whatever. You got audio effects as well. Now this is stereo. And just drag and drop it to the audio. And then in the audio effects you'll find it here. Or just you can change the boost. You've got a lot of these. You've got noise reduction, equalizers, low pass, reverb, volume. You can add another volume and make it louder. So you can play around with the audio effects. Also got presets. There's a bunch of these as well. You can just, take a look at these, drag and drop them into the footage. Alright, now I want to show you how to make your footage in slow motion or fast motion. We'll just delete the stuff we don't need. To change the speed, you want to select the clip, right click, and in the middle you'll see speed/duration. Now if you say 50 for the speed, it'll make it longer, so like slower. But if you say a higher number, it'll make it go faster. You can also choose how long you want the clip to last, and that will make it slow or fast for you. So you right click, speed/duration, and here under the duration you can change that. So you can make it maybe 10 seconds. Also if you tick reverse, that will reverse it, so you don't have to change anything. You can keep the speed at what it is and just tick reverse, and that will reverse the clip for you. Alright, I just want to show you a few more tips when you organize your project. Let's make folders. We'll call this videos, audio, titles. You can drag the footage into the video folder, and we'll just leave the sequence in the video folder as well. I just want to tell you, if you right click and go rename, you can actually rename the footage without renaming the actual file itself. So it won't save anything on your computer, it won't do anything with that. It'll just rename the footage in Adobe Premiere Pro. That's all it'll do. It won't change the actual file, so you can rename it all. Alright, thanks for watching part 2 of the Adobe Premiere Pro CS3 training. There's also part 3 you can check out. Thanks for watching, please rate and comment, and I hope this video helped. See ya.